Hey, Apollo Baptist Church family. It is Friday, May 29th, and coming at you on the Apollo Underground vlog. Man, wanted, I really feel led to address a certain current event that's going on in our country. It's actually not the pandemic for once, and that is the killings of Ahmaud Arbery. The killings of George Floyd, and then there's a number of other things that have been going on. I just feel like one thing after another is happening in our country, and I just want to direct the church. I feel like we need to. Now, there's some things that I'm doing in the long run. I think there's some things from the pulpit that we can learn from Scripture when things like this happen. I'm putting together a forum, an online forum of just church members from minority groups to put together to just learn and listen. That's still in the planning process right now. I think when we see the outrage, I've been trying to figure out what do I do with my outrage, because when I see the video footage and when I see the information presented, you have nothing left but outrage. And what do you do with that? Well, a lot of people go to social media. I typically don't voice outrage on social media. I don't think it's the best um, outlet for outrage, even though that's typically everyone's outlet for outrage. I honestly think that one of the best things you can do right now in the immediate aftermath of these things is call some of our black church members. We got black church members on staff. We've got people in teaching classes and in leadership. And so I would just reach out to fellow black church members. I'm telling you, they are affected. It may not affect them all the same way, but just to call and say, hey, how are you doing? You probably don't know, and that's okay that you don't know. But just call and ask, how are you doing? How can I pray for you? Because the reality is, the things that are going on, the things that have happened to Black American citizens could happen to literally any Black American citizen. And that is a scary thing. I think you need to think in the lines of, what if this was to happen to somebody at our church? How deeply hurt we would be. And so I think that's a good response, a godly response, to grieve with those who grieve, mourn with those who mourn, for right now. I think there's some other things that we can do as a church family that I think it'd be healthy to dialogue about and talk about. But for now, I say grieve with those who grieve, mourn with those who mourn, and do that very intentionally, knowing that you may not know all of what's going on. You may not know what they're struggling with. You may have a lot of ignorant questions to ask, and that's okay. We have God has put African American church members in our church for a reason. Retired Tuskegee Airmen, people who have only been in black churches before they came here, and God has put them in our church as a gift to us. And so I encourage you to reach out to them, if for nothing else, to pray for them, pray with them, and to grieve for them. I encourage you to do that. Again, I was reading in our Psalms reading about it is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in man. It is better to take refuge in the Lord than to trust in princes. That's from Psalm 118. And boy, is that ever true. We cannot take refuge in man. Man is always, as much as we've been through as a country with racism and the civil rights movement, we're never going to be cured of it. We're never going to get over it. Man are always going to gravitate towards discrimination. They're always going to gravitate towards not loving each other. But let's all take refuge in the Lord, take refuge in the Lord more than we take refuge in princes, in politicians, in man. Let's take refuge in God, take refuge in God's people, and let us love each other like Christ loved us.